What up, boys, and welcome back to another video. So I'm making this video because I've been getting a lot of questions on patch 915 that's coming up right now, and like how I intend to make gold in patch 9.1.5, right? And the thing is, like, I'm a gold farmer that makes the majority of my golds on old content. Besides when there's like a new expansion release, because whenever a new expansion releases, I make focus, like I put all my focus on making gold with the current content, like throughout like all the professions and open world farms and all of that. But besides from that, I just mainly focus on open world and dungeon farming, crafting old transmog, farming old mats. But everything is usually in the old content. So usually these point 0.5 patches aren't of that much interest to me personally. However, I do like a lot of the changes coming in 915, and then I'm going to explain to you guys exactly why. Before we do that, though, I do obviously have a sponsorship, which is myself, because in the 6-7 years that I've been doing YouTube, I've never done a sponsored video until I made my 0 to 10 million gold guide. So if you guys are struggling to make gold, make sure you grab a copy of the 0 to 10 million gold guide, which you can get for the code, you can get 50% off using the code Shadowlands. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has picked up the guide, and nothing makes me happier to seeing you guys enjoying the guide and finding it really, really useful. And just like be aware that if you do buy the guide, you will get like every future expansion updates of the book for free. I'm just going to send you the updated version whenever the new expansions for retail comes out. So you can find the book linked down below in the description, also pinned comments. And if you're playing TBC or you're going to play Season of Mastery for Classic Fresh, I do have a gold guide for those as well. And I think Classic Fresh is going to be a lot of fun, or Season of Mastery. But back to 915. So what is changing? There's a lot of stuff changing for the people that will focus on like the current content and all of that. Obviously, a big one is Mage Tower, right? I'm going to be doing some Mage Towers, but that's nothing gold related though. Right? In gold related stuff that's coming to 9.5 that's going to have a direct impact on me is obviously going to be the removal of AoE cap. AoE cap is, I mean, Blizzard finally understands that it has to go, even though people have been trying to tell Blizzard for ages now that they need to remove the AoE cap. It's so annoying when you're doing like group farms or when you're simply just running in a dungeon and you can't really swipe enough mobs because there's an AoE cap. You got to use trash instead, and it's frustrating. So the removal of the AoE cap is going to come in handy. More specifically of what I'm going to farm though, if you guys weren't aware, it's in the developer notes, but it's not in. If you go to like battle.net and you look at the 9.5, 915 notes, it's not going to say anything about the professions, but it's in the developer notes, and that is the increased drop rate on materials in Shadowlands. So Lightless Silk has its drop chance increased by 20%. Jewel Crafting Essence drops by 10%. Both Callousite and Heavy Callousite by 20%. And then all ore across every single map, every single zone is increased by 20%. So it's going to be easier to get these mats, which will eventually lower the prices as well, since it's easier to farm it. But I honestly think that people can make a decent amount of gold in the first couple of days of 915 doing material farms. I really, really do, because a lot of people will come back to the game and they will need these materials. And it's basically like farming raw gold. They fly off the auction house. So at least consider it, doing skinning and mining with a combination of herbalism. Even doing like the 2x4 open world farms for cloth and epic BOEs is going to be better now with the increased lightless silk. But it's going to have a bigger impact if you do skinning and mining / herbalism. So that's something that I'm going to do myself, just to test out and see how the gold per hour is going to be when the patch hits, because I definitely think that the mats will go up in price with the patch. Besides from that, my favorite change ever is the fact that we can now solo island expeditions. Island expeditions, I like doing them, but I don't like the fact that I need to find people and sign up if I want to do them on Mythic, because sometimes when I play, like when I play the game to, like, I record and test spots to make YouTube videos, or I live stream, right? But sometimes I have like 20 minutes, 40 minutes to just like do something in the game. And it would be so awesome to just jump in and do a couple of solo island and mythic expeditions to get some doubloons so I can buy boxes and so on. And you guys know how much I love doing box openings. So when you're farming doubloons, which is the currency that you get from island expeditions, you can use that to buy these crates that contain really good transmog and also has a chance of mount. So just being able to solo this is going to be great. So that's like the main thing that I'm looking forward to in 915 in terms of gold making, is soloing Mythic Island expeditions. And of course, like, the obvious thing is, like, the items will go down in value when you can solo them, but most people, they don't even have a loot appraiser. Like, they don't know that they're sitting on an item that's worth a lot of gold. And the majority of the people running island expeditions will do it for the mounts. That's what they care about. They won't run it to make gold. So I think that the prices will go down upon release, but then it's going to stabilize like at a decent price. So if you're going really hard at island expedition, I think there's some good gold to be made. There really is. And you have items like the Northern Blade, right? Like this Plunder Blade of the Northern Kings. That's a really good seller, right? It's a really cool weapon. And that's just one of many. If you search for Plunder on your auction house, you can see like some of these weapons are extremely expensive. And that's just the weapons. Like, there's a ton of set items as well that you can get from running island expeditions that are unique. So yeah, island expedition solo on Mythic is definitely my favorite thing to do in 915. So long story short, I'm going to be testing out the profession farms in 9.5 because you get more mats, and I also think the price is going to increase at the start of the patch. And then can't wait for the removal of the AoE cap for pretty much all the farms that I do, almost. And then I'm going to be spamming some Mythic Island expeditions for some sick transmog. But that is pretty much it for today's video. So if you guys got any questions whatsoever, just make sure you leave them down below in the comment section. And if you haven't already, you can always grab a copy of the 0 to 10 million gold guide. Remember, it's linked down below, description, pinned comments. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I also want to congratulate the people that won a copy of the book from last week. Make sure you check your YouTube DMs to see if you win, if you enter the competition on winning one of the gold guides, that is. But that's it for now. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. Super hyped about patch 915, and I will see you all back in on tomorrow's video. But until then, have a good one. Bye-bye.